Hey there, Star Trek Fleet Command fans. Are you ready for the most important video you've ever seen in your life? Are you? Are you sure? Really? Well, it's not this one. It's actually DJs who just put out exactly how Curon worked. Go check out Ultimate DJ's YouTube channel. Shout out DJ, it was a good one. But what I'm going to talk about this video is every ship you should skip if you're going to be free to play. So if you're not free to play, well, critique this video and tell me how wrong I am. If you are free to play, follow these to save you some time, headache, and I'll explain why in each different one. So roll the beautiful bean footage as we get into today's video. And good morning.
Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo!
Alright, so we have to preface this video with a couple points, just one or two things here. There. First, I'm coming at this completely from a free-to-play type perspective. So if you are out there as a player wondering what ship should I get to make my journey through Star Trek Fleet Command the most efficient, well, that's what I'm basing this off of. If you're going to spend money here or there, I'll make note of that, but I'm going with a free-to-play mindset. So that doesn't apply. Cool. Also, for those who've been wanting an update on the officer spreadsheet, I finally have one. We're working on finishing it up, and hopefully within 2 weeks it'll be done. We can pass it out, and you can use it to sort, find officers on your, how to sort up your bridge officers, what has best attack, health, defense, all of that, and a whole lot of people put in a lot of work to make that happen. So I'll do a whole video on that. So let's start from the very beginning. I'll have 3 accounts that I'm going through here, starting with this baby a level 11 on server 51. Shout out server 51 and all the wonderful things that are happening on there with AM and Ning and his burn the server down group. And if you love good drama, we got it. So starting off here, you get a lot of ships for free. I feel like that's the initial point that we have to talk about. We need to talk about which ones are worth putting resources into. So if you go to your combat tree through research, you'll end up getting things like the Fendra, the Turris, and the Tala for free. You won't have to spend any money. Down the road, you'll get the Kira, Voclus, etc. But we're going to talk about these 3 first. Orion Corvette doesn't actually matter. It's a 1-star ship. You can max it out. It doesn't hurt you. But you do get kind of this is like a mixed bag here. You get the Fendra first, which is good. Interceptors, I feel like, are really strong in the game, especially with some of the updates and officers that you can pair with them. The problem is they start taking uncommon crystal. And what you're going to find in this game is that becomes a bottleneck for everybody everywhere. 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, that crystal becomes very needed because you need it for miners. So what I end up doing is I build the Fendra, but I never upgrade it past the point it starts wanting uncommons. Right now, I've got a tier 1. Does it want anything uncommon? Keep upgrading it. As soon as it wants uncommon materials, I stop. But I do still build it. I will build the Turris and I'll build the Tala. But I'll tell you what, as a free-to-play player, it's generally more advantageous to focus on one ship and then progress through. Because remember, you're also going to unlock miners like the Fortunate that you get here, and then if you go down the list, and we'll do this on the other account, you'll get the Horizon, which is extremely important. Let me back out here, and we're going to do a combat upgrade because we're trying to get bigger and better. We'll do our shield modulation. Woohoo for a small increase. Yay! But anyway, as a low player, like levels 1 through 10, you want to build the Fendra, but you don't really want to build it up. And of the 2 that I would say focus on the Tala. Why? Because you're going to grind a lot of hostiles, and explorers are the easiest hostiles in the game to kill with your hostile crew loadout. Hostile crew loadouts, we got videos for that. If you need help, ask in the comment section below. I've got you. But that's for low levels. Build your, enjoy your Rialta, build your Orion Corvette, but skip that Tala. The tourists don't even really worry about it. Basically skip the Fendra, get to the Tala, and then start working on from there. But let's go a little bit higher here. This is my level 26 account. Now I'm still going to talk about some ships that are before 26, but let's talk about getting into that 20s range, because the Tala can carry you to 18, 20, etc. So what we're going to do is go into the ship build menu here, and we're going to look through all the different ships that you can build to start off with. See, here's your Reality, your Orion Corvette, and I'm telling you to basically skip these two. Remember, this jellyfish right now you cannot get for free in the game, except you can get some blueprints through missions, not enough. And then if you get event stores, like the one currently going on right now with Terran credits, you can get the rest of the BPs you need. Should you get it, it is a good ship and will last you until about level 20, 21. There's also some PvP events that run around every now and then, a few times a year, that make it useful. So it is worth getting. Tala, you do want to build this. The Envoy, your first big miner. You're actually going to want to build probably 3 of these. The Franklin, I do recommend getting it. You can start that process at 18. The Botany Bay, you're going to want for augment stuff. So yes, don't skip that. Kira, this is where we get to our first real skip. And we're also getting into the 3-star materials. Skip the Kira. I made a whole video about this before. I used to be big on skipping the Voclus. But honestly, the Kira now provides very little. Even as a base defender, you can max out a Kira, and you can be level 32, and your maxed Kira is like 450, 500,000 overall power. It's just not that strong. So skip it. Save your resources because it's crystal. Remember, you're going to need a lot of crystal for miners. Miners. Now, Franklin, by the way, just real quick, I want to say you can skip in lieu of the Voclus and save and get the Franklin through the event store later in the game. Just remember that as a specialty ship, as a free-to-play player, you're going to want the specialty ships for all of their unique purposes. You'll need them down the stretch. The Voclus, you can make an argument for skipping it, but I'm going to say don't do it. Get the Voclus, build it up to about tier 7, and then stop. Don't go past that, and then use that as your primary grinder. The Kumari, honestly, I'd skip it. I really would, and save that for the Bortus at level 28. All those materials. And you can still build the Kumari. It's a good ship. It's a very strong early base cracker, and it's a great PvP ship because it will take on the Voclus and win. But the main thing you need to worry about as a free-to-play is getting through your dailies and getting through the hostile grinds and the events. And this game, even though it's promoted as a war game, doesn't really do the PvP aspect that much in events. I mean, when's the last time we had a call to arms event, Scopely? It's been a long time. So getting the Voclus and then skipping the Kumari will still carry you through. The North Star, which you can buy for $20 at level 18, is a must. If you don't want to buy it, you don't have to have it, but this is a fantastic ship, and even more, giving you even more of an ability to skip that Kumari if you pick up this thing. The Devore, you can get for free through your 30-day loyalties and through the event store. Don't worry about buying it if it comes up. The Discovery, you will want a Discovery. Once again, event store. Vidar, maybe the most important ship for you to get before level 28. You're going to want this. Horizon, you get one of these for free in the research tree. Get that, and then I'd also work on getting a second. The Stella, you're going to want at level 27. Very good ship. Sarcophagus, I'd skip it. Complete waste of money in my opinion right now. It's only for territory capture. Not worth it. D3, skip. Don't worry about the D3 until you're level 34. Don't worry about it. Bortus, if there's 2 ships I would say build. And I'll show you what I have on my main account. So let's go over to the main, which I was looking at officers earlier if you're wondering what's going on there. So let's talk about our hostile grinding. We talk about how important it is to grind hostiles. The Bortus right here, like mine is tier 8. This will kill 38s, 39s, and 40s very easily with this Pike Moreau Chin setup. That is a level 28 ship that will work at level 39 for doing dailies. That's awesome. You can grind and get your triple lock at 10 million each for each faction and be good to go. It's one of the reasons I recommend it. I just do. That's really like that. That's the argument. And then the other ship to get at 28 is the Saladin. And yes, I am basically telling you to skip the Centurion. And I've got one. Here, I'll put it up on the screen just so you can see it. Here's the Centurion. Of these three, the main two ships, the Saladin #1 for PvP, but honestly, if you don't feel like you're going to be that big in PvP, the board is for PvE, for completing dailies. I'm really big on the daily push. You're going to want to complete those dailies for repair speed ups, for completing and getting resources, and for getting all those shields you need to make sure that your base stays safe. Doing so requires you to complete dailies. And while the Saladin can do it, is a fantastic base cracker, and because of his big gun can be very good in PvE, still these are the two I focus on. Centurion, once again, by the way, that's not Centurion. I pulled up a Gladius. I apologize. Here's your Centurion. Of the three, and I've used these three for almost 2 years now. Saladin #1 at PvP, Bortus, a great ship, and you don't even need the Intrepid, which we'll talk about here right now. So let's get back into our ship menu and talking about what I would skip if I'm free to play. So we've already skipped the Kira, we've skipped the Kumari, we skipped the D3, the Legionary, we skipped the Mayflower, because you don't need any of the first 3 faction ships until level 34 when you're scrapping. Specialty ships we won't, but let's see, we're skipping D3, build the Bortus, skip the Burrell, oh, y'all know I'm saying skip the faction miners, skip the Mayflower. Oh, yeah, I know. Build the Saladin, skip the Intrepid, build the Enterprise, skip the Antares, skip the Legionary, skip the Centurion, skip the Gladius, build the Augur, skip the Valkyrie, and Hijacks, build these if you just want to collect blueprints and collect ships. So real quick, let's go over this again, and I'll explain why. Like, for example, the faction miners. I know the whales hate it when I suggest this. If you are free to play and you need all the crystal you can get, you're not going to deep space for a long time. You getting to level 30 and blowing a lot of stuff on a faction miner, you'd be better set having 3 or 4 horizons to do your mining than it would to be having one good faction ship. And that's coming from a hardcore raider. It just doesn't make sense. But that's only for free to play. If you're a whale, if in 3 months you're already level 39, yeah, get faction ships. You're going to need them for mining G4, like way off in the distance. But for free to play, small spenders, horizons are going to be your best bet. Skip those faction ships and focus in on setting your goal long term for the Enterprise. That's what you're here for, right? To get the Enterprise. Well, this is what you do. You skip a lot of ships. You save time, you save resources, and you work efficiently. And I'm going to put all the ships that say skip on the screen. You can see them all right here. And if you agree or disagree, I want to know in the comments section below. This is a very basic video just to help out the free-to-play, to know what to do and how to get going early. If you agree or disagree, I want to know. Live long and prosper. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys, and I'll catch you on the next Star Trek Fleet Command video right here on the channel. Deuces. An even better outro than the intro. Yeah! Woo!